Hi guys, welcome to your instructional video on how to make a sign with Durham custom wood decor out of your home. So we're gonna get started. You should have a package like this, and inside that package you're going to have a plate. You're gonna have a plate that we're gonna use to put our paints on and our brushes on. You should have one brush per paint color. So each package comes with 2 paint colors. You can add on extra. So if you've added on extra, you'll have an extra brush for that extra paint color. So this is just our standard. So mine, I've chosen black and a tealish greenish color. So I'm gonna put those aside. And you're gonna have a toothpick in there, and we'll get to why you have that in the end. And a ruler, and that's just to make sure that your wording is lined up how you want it. And last but not least, a card. So if you have any questions, you can email us. Our email's on here, website's on here, or you can get a hold of us through Facebook or Instagram. I'm online 24 hours a day usually. And so let's get started. So you should have your sign. So now you've either chosen a frame sign like this, or one of our wood board signs. So all of the kids' signs come on wood boards, and then most of our adult signs do as well. The frame sign is just offered in 2 size options. So what we are going to do to get started, you have your stencil here. So the wording, I think, is pretty fitting for the times that we are in right now. And here is step 1. So step 1, we are going to peel apart our stencil. So we have to get our stencil stuck onto our sign. So to do that, you're going to lay it flat with the words up on the counter, and you're gonna peel it apart. It comes apart in 2 pieces. So it should look like that. I don't know if you can see that, but the black should peel off from the white. So now that we've got it a little bit peeled, we're gonna stick it face down on the counter, the words down, and we're gonna peel the white all the way off the sign. You can see there. And then this is gonna become garbage. And we're left with a super sticky stencil. There's the front of it, looks the same as it did before. The back is now a super sticky black. So that's it for that, and we're gonna move on to step 2. All right, now we are on to step 2. And if you guys need to pause in between the video, you can go ahead and do that. I'm gonna cut it all together so that it's not super long when you are watching it. So we're gonna take our sign, we're gonna put it in front of us. We have our sticky stencil from step 1. Basically what we're going to do is just lay it flat down, the sticky side onto the sign. I'm going to lay that down. Now you're going to take your ruler that was included in your sign package, and you're just gonna do a quick measurement to make sure that the wording is lined up. So I usually try and find a straight line in the sign, and then I measure to make sure that both ends are the same distance from the bottom of the sign. I think that's probably the easiest way. So now I have it on, it's just laying flat, and what I'm gonna do now is press it onto the sign. I'm gonna push down all around it as hard as I can. There we go. And if you have an old card or an old health card or an old membership card at home, you can actually take one of those, I have an old one here, and you're gonna just scrape it down. Scrape it all over. Try and keep it on the stencil. Make sure it's down. Now, we need to get the paper that's on top off of the stencil so that we can paint the wording. So next step is to take your stencil. I'm gonna get a little bit closer here. So take your stencil, and you can see where the white peels off of the black. And you're just gonna peel that white layer right off of the sign. And you're gonna make sure that you're leaving behind all of the little black pieces on the sign. Oh, I'm peeling up part of the sign here. So if you're peeling up part of the sign, it's fine. You can put it back down. It's hard because I have it upright. But you can put it back down and press it down again, and then keep peeling. I'm gonna back it up here so I can do it right. So you're just gonna put your hand down, grab a good hold on it, and just pull the white all the way off until it's all the way off of garbage again. So what you're left with now is a sign that should look, like this. So you have all of your black sticky, and then you have all the white left for where we're going to paint our wording. And that's it for that step. You can pause it now if you need to and get your paints ready, and then we're going to move on to the first painting stage. All right, now that we have our paints here and ready, and we have our brushes and our plate that we can put our brushes down onto, we're ready to start the first step of painting. So we're going to do at least 2 coats on the sign. I find the darker colors you don't need as much, and some of the lighter colors you might need to do an extra coat. So we'll start by using the black. I'm going to choose to do the script font in the teal color, I think, and the regular typewriter style text I'm going to do in the black. So I'm going to start with the black. Actually, I'm going to start with the teal, and what I'm going to do is work my way from top to bottom. That way I'm not dragging my hand through it as we go. So, just going to open your little paint and a brush, and you're going to dab it, and you're going to not use a whole lot, especially on the first coat. The idea is we want to seal the edges in so that you don't get bleeding underneath the black. So if you want to just quickly press down, make sure it's really, really stuck down around the edges of every word before you paint, that's probably a good idea as well. All right, here we go. So just a little bit of paint, and we're going to just dab it right on for the first coat. So you can dab it all the way around. And I'll get a close-up of this for you as well. All right, so now you guys can see a little bit closer. So it's just a little bit of paint for the first coat, and I'm going to dab all around, being careful not to get it off the edge because we don't want to get it on the sign other than where we want it for the wording. And I'm just going to do a quick coat. And like I said, we're going to do 2 coats, so this one doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want a lot of paint because you don't want the paint to bleed underneath the stencil. You want your wording to be as clean as possible. Again, it's not going to be perfection because this is your first sign, but some of these little hints will make it easier for you. So that's my first color. So I'm going to go and move on to my other color. My other wording for this color, I should say. And I'm going to continue with this. And they look like little things of paint, but they actually come with a lot. You could, if you've ordered multiple signs to do this as a group, you can kind of put paint colors together and kind of share them all. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go back, make sure I didn't miss any little spots that are still white inside of my letters, and I didn't. I don't believe. And I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to move on to my black. So I'm going to use black for the other wording. I'm going to keep you zoomed in just for a second until we're finished this first layer of paint. So like I said before, the darker colors you don't need as much. So just a little tiny bit will get you that nice black color. And we may not even need to do 2 coats on this one. All right, so that one's done. If you want to give it a little wipe after, if you got any spongy marks, you can do that. Although you won't really see them once you have the stencil off, it won't be noticeable at all. All right, we're almost done our first coat. All right, so that's it for our first coat. I'm just gonna give you a quick view from the other side because we're getting a little bit of a glare. So it should look like this when you're done. You're gonna see some spongy marks, you're gonna see some brush marks, but don't pay too much attention to that. You're never gonna notice that once you get the stencil off of the sign. So I'm gonna stop you right here. I'm gonna leave this to dry for about 10 minutes or so. You'll know when it's dry because you'll be able to see around on the stencil. And I'll come back to you for the second coat. Thanks. All right, we are on to step 4, which is our second coat of paint on the sign. And because I used black, I don't think I'm gonna do a second coat on the black because it's looking pretty dark already. But I'm gonna do a quick coat on the teal color, and then I think we're gonna be good to take our stencil off. So I'm gonna open my teal and give it another quick light coat. Again, you don't have to go heavy on the paint. The paint goes a long way. So just a little dab. If you get too much on your brush, you can use the plate to dab some off too. Or if you wanna get it more even on the brush, the plate's helpful for that as well. So I'm just gonna do one quick second coat just on the teal. And then we'll be ready to take our stencil off. So I'm gonna come back to you once this is done. I'm gonna give it about 10 or 15 minutes after this coat to dry before we peel it off. And I'll come back to help you get the stencil off. Thanks. All right, so our second layer of paint is finished and we're pretty dry now. If you're impatient like I am, you can use a blow dryer. Just make sure that it's not set to heat. So you wanna have it on the cool setting and just hold it back. It really only needs air for it to dry a little bit quicker. So you don't want to leave it too long either. I wouldn't leave it any longer than like 15, 20 minutes because it'll be harder for the stencil to peel off of the wood sign. So now in your package, we included a toothpick, which I told you we'd get to. So you're gonna use this to just peel up the little corner of the stencil. If you want and you have an extra pair at home, you could use tweezers, which is what we usually use. Toothpick works as well, it just takes a little longer. So I've got one corner up in my hand. I'm gonna come show you a little bit closer so you can see. So I've got a corner peeled. And what I'm gonna do now, laying down, is I'm just gonna peel it off the sign. So I'm gonna go back to my spot and I'm gonna peel it slowly. And again, you can use your hand to hold the sign down, get a good grip. And you're just gonna peel it off nice and smooth. You're not gonna get the pieces that are inside of the A's and the O's, but you're gonna come back for that after. There we go, you can just peel little bits at a time. And then this is now garbage again. And you're left with something that looks like this. So you can see all of our A's and our O's are all still stuck in there. Now you can use your toothpick that came with it, or if you have tweezers, like I said, you can use those to peel it off. And you're just gonna take your toothpick and get it in on a corner inside of the A and peel it off with your fingers. If you're using tweezers, you wanna just get right on the corner, on the edge, get a good grip on the inside of the E and peel it right off. I'm gonna get a video of close-up for this so that you can see. So, all right, we have a close-up now so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. So I'm just using a pair of old tweezers that we use in the shop. But again, you can use the toothpick that we provided in the kit. It just might take a little longer. And you just wanna get it right into the corner of the little piece that you're peeling up. You'll be able to see the pieces because they look like raised stickers. And you want to peel those stickers right off. And we are almost done here. This takes some practice, so don't get frustrated if you are taking a little longer than me. It takes practice to get quicker. And we are left with a finished sign. So I'm gonna put you back so we can show you the finished product. All right, so that's our final product. Our stencils are off, paint's dry, and we're ready to hang it. All of your signs should have come with sawtooth hangers on the back, so you can get right to hanging it on your wall. And again, if you'd like to place an order for a custom sign to do at home, or a custom sign for your child to do at home, or from any of our generic options, just send us a message on Facebook or check out our website, send me an email, and we can touch base about your thoughts on custom wording. And thanks for watching, and I hope your sign turned out great. Have a good day.